Welcome to Art People,
podcast where we look at art from different perspectives.
We'll be talking to artists, gallerists, and collectors
with the aim of making art more accessible.
I'm Ohi.
I'm Ohai. Let's get into it. Today we have Oga Duke on the podder. Welcome, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So let's get right into it. So Oga Duke, who is Duke Asidere? I told you.
Duke Asidere. I usually say there are two names. There's Duke Asidere, there's Asidere Duke.
Okay.
Duke Asidere is the guy who went to school. Asidere Duke is the artist. Yeah, so...
He went to school. So what's the difference between the two of them?
There are two different personalities.
Tell us. Talk to us.
When you go to school, there are a lot of rules. They tell you white is not a color. There are a lot of things they're taught in art school. Black is not a color. But when you switch, you decide that everything is a color. Black is a color, white is a color. And then you begin to, they say you know the rules. You break the rules very well. Then every now and again you go back to the rules. So it's that thing called growth, where every now and again you're saying to yourself, I can't go on autopilot.
So do you make your own rules? Does Duke Asidere make his own rules?
Every now and again. Every now and again. Once you are in the studio and you begin to make your rules from when you pick up your colors.
Okay.
Are you going to put a red on your palette? Are you going to put a blue? What shade of blue? What are you going to use? White? What intensity of white? And there are variations of this white. You have white. There's titanium white. So some artists will use titanium white, and then some artists won't use that white. So the fact that you're consistently making choices will mean that you will constantly make new rules.
Of course.
Yeah.
But at what point did you know? So you said there's Asidere Duke, there's Duke Asidere. So when was Duke Asidere? Imagine that's the artist, right?
Asidere Duke is the artist.
Okay,
Duke Asidere is the
Duke.
guy who went to school.
So when was Asidere Duke born?
I was born in 1961. I'll be 64 in a few.
Nigeria is your senior.
It looks like it.
By year.
And we went primary school, went to Cowboys High School finally, went to Ahmadu Bello University.
Were you creating art
at that point?
I was very lucky at the Cowboys High School. I had a fantastic art teacher called Alade Suru. Was my first art teacher, so it was very important that I've always said that I'd always wanted to be a physicist. I wanted to reach physics first degree, second degree, and PhD. But today,
what changed? Where did you?
A lot of things just change when you get out of school. When we got out of school, you are like yourself. Okay, what do I want to do again? Do you want to go and read drama? You want to read English language? Then you begin to make those, I call them the eternal choices. And then I don't think I would have, if I'd gone to teach, maybe then with my head, the utopia was to teach in Unilag.
Okay.
Teach physics and then do a PhD, read all that. But today, looking at both mirrors, you're like, excuse me. This was actually the original place to be. Yeah.
So you were a teacher, right?
Yeah, I lectured for a few years.
Was that after school? Or like, what was the transition from school to teacher to...
When I was done with my second degree, it was more like wanting to be in an environment with other artists than wanting to teach. And to be in that environment, which was Auchi at that time, with the likes of a variety who had known him from Warren in the 80s. It was a good experience to just go and sit down with friends who were gifted. So the dynamics of learning from everybody.
So you guys were all teaching each other, learning from each other?
Yeah, we went out to do the outdoors together. You learn. You actually steal. It's not as if you steal the information. if somebody understands design more than you understand design, then you're going to borrow his knowledge from design. Sometimes you're going to ask questions.
Who were some like artists that were in that era, that period when you were?
When I was teaching Benasaga, late Benasaga was there.
As a student or a teacher?
As a teacher, well, we actually shared the same room.
Wow.
In the same office as I have when I used it.
So at that point, were you lecturers, were you artists?
We're lecturers who were artists.
Okay.
So we're practicing consistently and we're going to class to teach. It was that a bit different. Is that you go to class, you teach, you get out of class, you go back home, you teach yourself. In fact, you have to read. If you teach, you have to read a lot every now and again. So,
of course.
But the biggest lesson at that time, those 4 years I lectured, was the constant interaction. They were not organized interactions. You just go, hi, what's up? Hi, what's happening here? So there's an exhibition at for somewhere. It's okay. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. So it was, and we were in our 20s actually. So it was, and in your 20s, I think you learn. You're a bit more reckless in a good way. So just keep learning.
So was it just passion then, or had it become a career? At one point, you say become an artist. And you're like, okay, yeah, this is my life.
Yeah.
I think for some, the day you enter art school, the medical doctor doesn't become a doctor the day he goes to medical school. But he knows ultimately I'm probably going to practice for a few years. So is that knowing once you go to art school, you're like any other in school, you want to do well in your chosen course of study. So you're like, why not give it all now?
I read somewhere yesterday that you had the first class. Is that true?
Many years ago, yeah.
What was many years ago?
What's the first class in art like? Is that like maths where you say if you get 100?
I think.
Was there a painting that got you the first class, or was it like you had?
No, just like you have the regular assessment. So you have they say, okay, end of this one session, you had X, maybe you had a 4-point-something GPA, all of that. So, but when they say you have a first class in art, it's not just that you have a first class in just painting. There's art history, there's art education, there's design practice, there's method and there's theories and methodology.
Of course.
So it's a wide range of things that, but the people who will say you deserve it are the lecturers, and they will know from which frames they were looking at. Yeah. For me, I just went to art school and I wanted to give my best every now and again, and that's what I did.
But have you always known you were, like, okay, you look at like Messi now, he's a footballer. I mean, over the years we've seen he has gone through like different stages in football. Was that the same for you? Like when you were 15, were you like the star in your arts class?
Among the contemporaries that you mentioned?
When first we didn't go to the same secondary school.
Okay.
So I attended Cobbles High School, and my cousins, they had gone to Corona, and in Corona, they had art classes. I didn't go to Corona. I went to an American primary school somewhere in Marine Beach, Papa. So I was moving from one end of Lagos to the other end. So I was coming to Surulere.
Okay.
I went to Cobbles High School. My late auntie didn't want me to stay in the boarding school, so I came to live with her kids.
Okay. Your cousins?
Yeah, my cousins, they are Tijans. And they, I hadn't even probably seen a cartoon until that I was 11. So it was from one end of Lagos to the other end. So it was a good experience.
It shaped you.
Yeah, because all of them could draw very well.
Okay.
Everybody was drawing in their house. So I literally learned drawing at number 2A at Trinashi Street, Surulere. That's where, when you go to school and come back, that's where you're drawing. You're looking at Hulk. You're looking at Superman. You're looking at Power Mike. So it was all of that. So in my first term in a Cobbles High School in 73, I got the first in class. But that was not my strength. I think to the point I've probably done better, maybe as somebody who was probably teaching English or dancing on the stage as a theater artist or something else.
Okay.
There was no time I looked at, maybe one day I'll own an easel. It was not that big thing. But, as you wrapped up secondary school, what next do you want to do? Those questions are there. My late auntie wanted me to go to NDA. As I told her that I won't live long. I told my mom, I said to her, no.
So NDA is what?
NDA, Nigerian Defense Academy.
Okay.
I said to my law, I die early. Stubborn.
You don't want to die.
so that's why I didn't go to NDA basically, because my auntie was a very big woman at the Navy. So then I was okay. They were doing some fire service, what do you call it? They're doing a crash program for fire service. I'm like, no, now. I don't want to wear a uniform. So all of that. And then that's when Nigeria had a lot of, you could choose as much as anything you wanted to do at that time. So, but long story short, I went to art school finally.
So you go to art school, then lecturing. So when did art become a business or like your source of livelihood outside the paid employment that was lecturing?
When I lectured, it's when you look at those times, the salary was like maybe 600 naira. There was no time.
That could have been big money. I don't know. Inflation and that.
My salary was 670 naira.
That was your salary?
Yeah, salary. A month.
Okay.
When I resigned,
big boy.
My salary was 3,246 naira. But there was no time one lived on that.
Okay.
Yeah, so immediately you got to art school, there were artists who were already making money doing art, but we were just teaching for passion.
Do you remember those?
Some of writing, for instance, opened a lot of doors for a lot of people. It was very generous. When I got to Auchi, they were doing something called Fujero. Fujero used to be one, call it flour mill.
Okay.
So writing was a man. This people are coming tomorrow. Do you have anything? So all of that. But everything you do is like climbing a story building. You're going to start from one step. So it began to become literally money. Then you go back to the Ramanakas or the influence of the galleries, the first galleries you deal with, and all of that.
You mentioned Auchi. I know that I've heard of something called the Auchi 5. Like, what's that about? How did that come to play?
I've never heard about the Auchi 5.
You never heard of Auchi 5?
Never had. Serious. Yeah. Never had. But I know if you talk about Auchi school, they're just people that you can't remove from the list.
Okay.
You can't remove a variety from the Auchi
What
school.
about Duke Asidere? Asidere Duke.
You can't remove the Peter Ibo. There are two Emmanuel Koros. I think it's not fair to talk about yourself in any way. It's usually better for that
to speak.
I understand that. But the reason why I asked that question, because, we won't talk about Nigerian art history.
Yeah.
Where does that, at that time, what was happening in the art world? Like, how was the art, was it a lucrative business? Were there already artists that were established?
In Nigeria?
Like, the way we hear these big names now, were they big names then? Or who were they?
Variety in the 90s had won what they call the Mobile Prize.
Okay.
It was a competition that was organized by Mobile, and he had won first prize, and he had won, I think, something about the American Ambassador some prize or something. So,
was he a mentor?
Variety was my colleague.
Okay.
We're friends. We're
Okay.
still friends till tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Yeah. So art has always been lucrative. Maybe not at the prices that we're talking about today. Yeah. And I think anything anybody does diligently, anything, photographing, sweeping the street, if you do it with all your heart, you're going to put money in your pockets.
Do you think Duke Asidere has added to Nigerian art And if yes, what has he added? Like what? Yeah, what has he added?
You know, as I said, it would be difficult to say, but I know that my lecturers from Ahmadu Bello University have said to me that, oh, well done. You're a good servant of the University of Ahmadu Bello University. I think that is good enough. Yeah, I think all the people who taught me in school are proud of me.
So that actually goes into the next question I was going to ask. Who were some of those people that taught you? And what are the things that they taught you that you are still using today and passing on?
I think one of the strongest lessons I learned going to art school, the most strong, is this issue of structure. You go for a live drawing class, it's a 3-hour class. You go for a pictorial composition class, it's a 4-hour class. You go for outdoor drawing, it's a 3-hour drawing class. So it gives you structure. And structure literally will give you stability. I don't know. And when you have structure, you can easily be stable. So one thing I've kept consistently, if I can't give it all it takes, I don't want to give it anything. If whatever I'm doing, if I can't give it every of my energy, I don't want to do. So the days I have appointments, I find it difficult to go and start to paint or to draw. So the days I don't have, and when I started painting, you tell those, I call them, you give the excuses. Are you in Lagos? No. You won't know when you say that, but it's not out of your mouth. I'm not in Lagos, because that, are you in Lagos, can distract you. It might give you money, but it takes you from what you're doing. So every now and again, you say, I'm not in town. So you tell yourself maybe on a Sunday, I'm not in town this week.
Because you want to create.
Because you want to create. Because every now and again, you need to go deeper into yourself than you went last week.
Okay. So when you speak of structure, and now I'm moving away from like the academic side of things to the business side of things, what is structure for you? So like, do you wake up and say, this week I'm going to paint 10 paintings?
No. I'd never be able to function like that. I know people who function like that.
Okay. So what is structure to you in your practice as it is now?
To me, today, structure is when I earn money. Every time I earn money, whether I have materials or not, I buy materials. Structure. When I have good cash flow, I decide I'm going to do a few things differently from what people know. Sometimes I want to create work for me alone. I don't want to show anybody. Create it, storage.
Isn't that difficult? Storage. Because you have to eat.
Okay, when it comes to eating, I'm somebody who believes in galleries. I know a lot of some artists believe that they can go pawn their work, they can take their work from A to B, put it in the vehicle, do that. It's okay. I can't question your model. It might work for you. But I'd rather deal with a gallery and say, okay, I'm doing work this time. Can we see in July or in August? Person comes in August. Maybe there shows interest. I don't say a lot of this, but
please speak.
I'm a bit partisan. There are some persons who come like, okay, you want to take 15 pence, carry the go. No, we'll discuss later. There are persons who come and say, okay, no.
I think we're jumping the gun. Before we get to that part of the question, let's talk about money and inspiration. Does money, I don't want to ask, does money inspire you, but what inspires you to paint? And does money sometimes play a role in it?
Money won't inspire me to paint.
So if I give you $1 million a day, you not paint?
You chop the money now.
If you create constantly, like my studio in Bagada, for instance, I probably have maybe a few hundred paintings there.
I think that's underestimating it.
Yeah. So, the only reason I have a studio on the island is because I needed space to create new work.
Oh.
Nothing more. So the goal is different. Other people will come to the island to paint because he wants to sell. But I have two garages selling for me on the island. So why do I need to sell? Why do I need? So money will probably never be the reason to paint.
Okay.
And I go back. When I started painting the black paint, nobody's going to buy a black canvas and put in his house.
I mean, if you give me one, I'll take it.
I'll take it too. I mean, I want to my house.
So, and it was more of reaction. I think when I started the black paintings, I'd taken a taxi one late evening from...
What year was this?
Like 15 years ago. Nigeria was going to be 50 about that time, yeah. So about 15 years ago, yeah. So I was in this taxi and this Ghanaian lady, I think it was those days when they used to join taxis together. So we're going... So as we passed the police college in Ikeja, everywhere was pitch dark. Pitch dark. So when I go to her, I'm like, excuse me. And the girl was saying too many things about Ghana, how that we're not doing well in Nigeria, no light, no this, no that. So when I got home, I just said to myself, how long are we going to be in this? So that was the first prop of the dark paintings.
Do you remember the first one you ever did? And do you know where it is now?
I'm not able to track. Because what happens in collection, and people who collect works, they hide it, they keep it. So it's just there, hidden in one of the back rooms or story. But yeah, that's it. So from then, and then the things that will inspire you to paint, when they had the issues in Northern Africa, I painted freedom and blood, how you need to shed blood to get freedom. But so everything that happens around
influences your work.
Comes to my canvas. Sometimes you're dealing with issues that you cannot vocalize. So you just scribble them on the surfaces.
Exactly. I like that you said that scribble thing. So I know that in your works, you scribble a lot. Where is that from? When did this start? And why do you do it?
When did it start?
Is that a unique style to you?
Almost everything I do, when I do my work, it's unique to me because I run away from copy completely. I keep running away. So when I see a theme that is flogged, I'm like, much as I feel a bit different on this matter, I don't want to be involved in this matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you've not to explain the scribbling, what like those names, because you write all sorts, numbers, years.
I dealt, life has dealt me a few blows, and sometimes the easiest way to vocalize those blows is to just write it on the canvases. Yeah, I'd seen painting of mine that was, I have a painting in my. I have a painting that it used to be owned by a friend of mine, so I bought it off him again. And then I think I'd done that painting like in 2025. Then recently I was showing the painting, I'm seeing all my friends' names.
What year did you say?
2005.
Okay, 2005.
So I look at the painting, I'm saying, oh, this Olu Ajayi here, this Peter Iwere here, all written on the surface, all the names. So sometimes you're dealing with putting your friends on the surfaces you paint. Sometimes you're dealing with the issue of hate, bloodshed, pain, even betrayal.
So is that how you express yourself?
Yes, I had to do that. A few years ago I did something about family and greed, and it was a storyline of somebody who had duped me inside family, and I just felt not a bad place to put you in. So, after a while, I know you do things, and then sometimes after a while, you forgive the person, and you come and see with you. I don't know if this boy is name from this. Just go there, cover something. Yeah. So it's that thing.
So earlier on, you spoke on like galleries like carrying your work, right? And the aim of this podcast is to try and just demystify art, make it accessible to everyone. In terms of, I feel like for Duke Asidere today, or Asidere Duke, a young person might shy away from your work, not because of it's not beautiful. they can't afford it, what would you say? Or what would you what would you say influences the prices of your work, and how would you advise a young person to collect your work?
Or collect work in general?
Or collect work in general.
There's a collector here now. What I think is simple. I think first the artists must they should encourage artists. Yeah. Same way they should encourage people who sell stuff, whether clothes,
The essential items, all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't say because you want to buy gold, the price will crash for you. Or you want to buy a Rolls Royce, price won't crash for you. So my advice, younger collectors, collect from their contemporaries.
But everybody wants that.
Everybody wants to have a Duke Asidere in the wall or some of variety.
We've not been doing prints here. So maybe it will be a market for prints. It will be difficult to say to sell to A for X price.
Of course, then
go to B to sell. That way, you destroy. You're actually a fraud at that time. You're fraudulent. So there will be people who have what they call. There are people who are in your space. If you have a cousin, you have a family member, you have a daughter, you have a son, you can gift the child, you can gift the person. But when it comes to, or buy some other thing, buy a drawing. If you can't buy a painting, buy a drawing. If you can't buy a large piece, buy a miniature. If you can't buy a miniature, take a photograph, enjoy it.
Okay, but so if you look, you've been in the art space for a while. At what point did art become pricey? Do you remember, you look at when you were in uni and you guys were doing your sketches and painting by the river and all that. I don't imagine you were selling for what you're selling now. So what point did your work become what it is now?
I think a couple of things. After the auctions.
And what's driving that?
When we had the first, second auctions. In art, when you create art, you see art now. So you're able to say to yourself, even if this guy is selling for X price, I don't think it's that damn good. Yes. So most times you just level your prices because it's like, excuse me. Yeah. That you have preference to buy artist A doesn't make artist A the biggest thing. And so we have, in Nigeria, we have the cultural thing, we have the tribal thing, we have the ethnic thing, but basically purchase is purchase. The person who has his money determines which artist he wants to buy from. So that's one part of it. The part that is also part that the works, because it's it now, the works have actually gone global. So you're dealing with galleries that want to sell a certain amount of prizes. Some works have featured in auctions out of this space. So if somebody, maybe they auctioned your work somewhere and then somebody paid $25,000 for your work, it would be stupid to just come and sit down here and be doing as if nothing changed in what you're looking at. So those are one of those many.
You talked about global perspective. Yes, we're talking about Nigerian art, right? Do you feel like the internet has changed the way you show your art or the way you interact with collectors?
For me, every now and again, I see people who come to my space and say, "Oh, can you share images?" I say, "No, I don't share my images. I don't." Because it doesn't make any sense. Why am I sharing your images? I don't know when to do the images.
So how do you publicize? How do you get your work out there? How do people see your works?
When I'm a bit active on, but I post my work purely, okay, I've done this work, I like this work.
Just from a place of pride.
I just post one in a lot, one in many. I think for me, I'm someone who believes essentially in the two main galleries that hold my work. First, there's a bond of friendship So we are friends who are doing the business. So if my friend is selling for X price on the other end of VI, I'd be stupid to be selling for half the price
in the studio.
The studio. It makes no sense. So when people come to my, I say, look, it will be cheaper if you go there. If you go there, it will be cheaper because I can tell them to give you a discount. But if I don't get maximum, I no go sell.
That is from your studio?
Yes, I'll tell you I'm not selling. Almost all the time. Because it makes a lot of sense. If the other guy is running ACs, running diesel, paying workers, running up and down, doing publicity, and is getting a certain level of pricing, it will be out of place for you to now go and you're cutting corners.
Undercutting price.
Because at the end of the day, you're actually doing yourself.
A disservice.
Service to you. Not just to yourself, to the ecosystem of it. So,
but now you're talking about the artist and the relationship with galleries, right? So imagine you're talking to a younger artist. How are you advising them to show their art on internet, and how are you advising them to approach galleries that can possibly...
What I say to the people who come to me, go and hone your skills. First, go and prepare that thing you want to sell. Go and prepare it. Not when you're struggling to do certain things, then you now... I've seen artists who post their work with phone number, all of those.
It's marketing now.
It's marketing, but you see, you have that marketing is you have to understand what target area you're looking at. It's more of wisdom, it's more of clarity. It's not just to sell.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not making fabric. You're making art. Art's a different thing. It's a different thing. It's something that literally boils over from inside of you. Yeah, so one should be mindful. I post works, and I know somebody's screenshots it, get somebody. I said, you will see this particular work in X gallery. It's not in my space. You know. I'm going to stay within the questions you asked me.
No, for sure. For sure. So basically,
I almost was going to say something. I said, no.
No, speak freely. But what you're stressing is that there is a strong relationship between gallerists and artists, right? And you have to respect that.
You have to respect that bond, and you have to literally bid your time sometimes.
What does that mean?
Bidding your time is simple. If you're in a hurry, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. If you're in a hurry, you're going to repeat your works unnecessarily. I didn't want to go there, but I'll go there because a lot of people think that you're not going to judge anybody's work. But I think once you repeat the work on and on and on, if I was a buyer, I'd stop buying because I think it should be a single ownership.
But there's a style that every artist is known for. So I know that when I go to Duke, I want that particular style.
You know, I don't paint style. Fortunately,
but you have a style.
I have a style, but I paint my emotions. The last few weeks have been a bit dark for me. I'd had, you lose people, you get this. But in all of that, I said to myself, I was going to create a body of work to represent this particular person. So anybody who's seen the work, man, that's fast. I'll do on my own, not be, I know they don't make people see. You know, so if you come and meet me doing your work, I just said it. You know, and people say to me, oh, I like your black paintings. And they want to commission me to do a black painting. I say, sorry, I have not done any one. I have to have something that's overburdening me to create any of that. So, and then most times, because some persons think that it's craft. It's craft. So they want to commission you to do things that are not ready in your... It takes a lot to do all of these things, because you have to be ready inside and outside.
So you speak on like the emotions that fuel your creativity, right?
Yeah.
You spoke of the black paintings.
Yeah.
So what is a happy Duke? Like when I see
a happy Duke could be a black painting. because it's the era you create the work that is the issue. Sometimes, when it's like someone who is writing, you can write a whole essay and not have errors, not make mistakes. But you can still write that essay that has no errors, and in trying to reduce the number of sentences or
things get missing.
You can take some words of, no, this word is not going to work here. I'll make this sentence shorter. I'd use this big word, this big English to cover all these four small words that don't mean anything. So I don't think there's any work you're creating. For me, I don't create any work without the emotions. I don't create any work based on my skills anymore. Because there's so much to create from my balcony. I could paint the whole 1 year just copying things on my balcony. Just copy. Paint the trees. Then you can even decide to think like a barber and then begin to see faces in the trees.
Okay, how do Baba see faces?
Baba.
Okay.
So you begin to see faces. Because all you do is you actually, you can push that imagination to the edge. You can push it, you can blow it. So, and to create, to create every day or every other day is difficult. So sometimes in the prayer of creating, you're not in the studio. You're probably just driving, then the thing hits you. You're sorry, just thinking, it hits you. So it's those moments, I call it very light moments, where light just flashes into your head. So it's, for me, it's a learning. I call myself the chief learner in my studio. So you're looking at everything. You're thinking, maybe I could do it like this. Maybe I could do that. Then you see things. You see works of other artists. You like them, but you like them with a slant. You're like, maybe.
So the creative process for you, is it like something that is tasking emotionally or physically or both?
Creating art is tasking.
Why and how?
If you create art, because you also want to experience. Not only the collector wants to experience something new from your paintings, you also want to experience something new. So you're literally searching, you're opening files in your brain. You're pulling out things from your brain.
Looking for
new expressions. Well, how do I handle this? What do I handle specifically here? And so you're dealing with the fact that just a few days ago, I was painting, and I'd drawn out the hand of the figure. The figure had a hand, I'd played with some light greens, I played with some blues. Then I woke up and I said, no, much as I wanted this here, I would have enjoyed it better if I'd done a brushwork. And I had to cover all of that, cover that. The artist must be flexible. So that flexibility is where you literally begin to grow. I always tell Jose Gueza that every time I look at Moreno, look at his work, the work is really, really simple. Simple when you look at it. But as much as simple as it is, it will stand any Modigliani anywhere on earth. Any. So you look at their bloody Glovers, you look at the women, that energy, for you to bring that energy to your own surface, you have to do a work that is in the energy level in which they entered their works without copying their works. So it's all about energy. So if you're not very careful, it's easy for people to mislead you. That you're making money doesn't mean you're a fantastic artist. Anybody can make money.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. Anybody can make money. And because we've lived in this system, the days of the wonder banks, they had some banks that came that failed. Not if your uncle or dad was a banking director and they wanted to acquire 20 paintings for the bank, they will acquire your paintings now. Yes, why not?
So that means the monetary success is not necessarily what you're looking for.
Somebody will say, money is good.
It is.
But if your whole search is money, I think you're very poor. Because for me, I think that we all must contribute our own part of that fabric called Nigerian art. So if money is all that you contribute, then you shouldn't do now.
So you were speaking about Moreno and Glover, right? Are those would you consider those artists mentors?
Definitely. From the perspective of art that I create, I find a lot of artists who by the sheer individuality of their works, wherever I see them, I'm held to it. Glover definitely mentor, and Moreno definitely, and then mentoring is not just by looking at one artist. So there are art teachers who either taught me directly or taught my colleagues directly that are also my mentors. And there are also contemporaries that you look as wow, fantastic artists. So the word mentoring is a literally very big space to look at. And so am I factoring my works like theirs? No. But you could look at the discipline. You could look at how they have pushed their work.
But can you speak to the discipline over time? So from notable masters of the past, so the Ainos or Nobolus of this world, the Grillos, the Lashikons, and can you tell us how they've influenced your set and how?
Like, what has that progression been like? I mean, you've experienced it, so what has the progression been like for you?
A bit seamless as it is. One of my earliest paintings were in the 90s was acquired by Shina Yusuf, late Shina Yusuf. Wow. Yeah, and I think there was a project in Abuja that were running. The work was a 3x5 work on pressed wood, what a lot of people call ceiling board. What it's been, I had teachers like Daniel Tutokun, who was very influential in my work, and then other lecturers like Jerry Buhari, Tony Okpe, Richard Bayi. Then you look out the larger space, you look at people like artists like Abiora Anidi, artists like Nsikak Asian, and then you come down, you see the Olakus with the varieties, with the Peter Iweres. And then if you look further, you look at the Abayemi Babas. There's so many talents, essentially. So it's and then among contemporaries, you have younger contemporaries, you have older contemporaries. When they say we're all literally digging the same spot. We're all at the same spot, digging at the same time. So that's been that. It's
Would you call all these artists you mentioned contemporary artists? Do you think you're a contemporary artist?
The word contemporary to a large extent is just an artist who's practicing now.
I know people. The word is kind of bastardized. So
Yeah.
who is it?
I would call myself a modernist. I'm purely a modernist. When everything is intellectualized, sometimes there are no emotions attached to it. I see art from a perspective of a consistent modernist, which means I could see 40-year-old, 35-year-old, probably Ghanaian artist or Tanzanian artist whose work I like. And if I like your work, I'll screenshot your work, put it on my DP, put it on my status. I like it. And the same way I could look at a Carlo Cara or a Picasso or any artist anywhere in the world. And but what it is all the time is to decide there's a difference between knowledge and intellectualism. So you have to literally sit on a turf and say, okay, this is my part in this divide.
So where do you sit? You say modernist.
I'm a modernist in both my behavior, in my studio, in my attitude, in the fact that I want to learn. So it is that point where it is just somebody can say he's an impressionist artist even now.
Yeah.
If you take all the dictations of the impressionist era, you can say you're an impressionist. Like, I love color. Do I worship color? No. I love color. I worship my emotions more when I create. It's more of my emotions than just color. But
you're always telling a story.
Yeah, I'm always finding a story to tell. Sometimes the story in my head is the only story that shows up on my surface. So then you have to get, I call the eras of departures and passages where you have to stop to enable you continue. You have to stop to enable you recreate. So you just create a body of stuff and then you allow it sink both to you and to other persons. I think I was talking to somebody recently in that the experience in creating art is multiple level experience.
Okay.
You first create to excite yourself, then you create to please yourself. Then maybe something when you're done after multiple hours, you find out what you're trying to please, what you're doing to please yourself doesn't please you. So you begin to literally unwrap what you have wrapped initially. So it's the experience for me. It's more than just showing you have skill. It's more of the experience.
Yeah.
And then sometimes if it's just about skill, it's too cold. It's like a refrigerator. Yeah.
I think that segues into the next segment, which is the piece of the day. I mean, every episode we highlight a piece from our collection or the artist collection, or the guest collection. Sorry, right? And today we would like you to speak to this piece you did for us. I forget the year now, but a couple of
2020.
2022.
Okay, 3 years ago. So, I remember the work on a beat, as I said to Kade yesterday. You guys had come in once, maybe a second time. And then we got talking about your uncle, and I said, oh, he was my best man, or my friend. And then it was more like, oh, we need to buy something. I said, I don't know if you'd buy, Sha. I don't know if you'd buy. But let's come. I just create something for you while you're in my space.
Yeah.
And that's how the piece.
Does it have a name? Because I don't even know the name of this piece.
I think it's Love. Behind it is Love. We've checked it, Love 2022.
But there was also something that you wrote, scribbled. I don't know.
I'd scribbled initially.
Is that Peter there? Like, what does that say?
Is it P-E-T? Maybe Peter. But when Peter always signed his name as P-I-T-A.
Yeah.
Never signed Peter. So...
But has it been kept to? Do you think, are you proud of? Are you, like, looking at it, are you happy?
You know, I never create any art looking at that particular time. When I create art, I've always said to my friends who are very close to me that you create art in 3 dimensions. You create for the now, you create for the after. Now, this is the after. And then you create for the when you are not available. So you create in 3 levels of your living. You create in the present, in the future, and when you are gone from this space called the earth.
So looking at this work now, what are you seeing?
First, I see the attempt to draw the glasses. A few scratch, a play of the knife. I can almost feel the knife entering wet oil on that particular day. It's an interesting piece and it's full of good experiences. I had said to Kaide that, it was the era when I used to drink a lot of alcohol.
Oh man, that day you drank like a fish.
So if you saw 4 bottles of Guinness or 4 cans of Guinness, you would drink it with another 3 cans of Heineken.
And those roots,
the roots.
Herbs.
But 3 years after now, there's no alcohol anymore.
So you don't drink for your life?
I drank 1 beer for my late friend yesterday.
No,
2 days ago. I drank 1 beer for the first time in like 2 years. Just
why did you quit? What was your, is it like health or just did you outgrow it?
My doctor said I shouldn't drink that. I've taken enough alcohol for a lifetime.
And some more.
So I just stopped there. But I'd like to wrap up by saying that for artists must create and have the courage to be different in an era where everybody wants to do the same thing, the same way, the same energy. Artists must build energies that are beyond them, that they cannot literally explain to anybody. Just build those energies and create in that energy. We can't be doing art casually when other spaces in our commune as Nigerian are either swelling up or literally busting up. So, and I think for today Nigeria, the creative space is actually the major engine, whether it's music, whether it's theater, whether it's drama. So anybody who has a platform must give the platform everything he or she can, so that we're not just talking about the giant of Africa in the words of corruption and the illusion of theft.
Thank you so much.
Let's build a country that we'll all be proud of, our great-grandchildren will be proud of. When I create these works, I want to see 4 generations of my kids, great-grandchildren, see my works anywhere on earth and say, wow, that's my great-grandfather. Yeah, and that's the energy in which I create my art. I'm not creating art to excite anybody. It doesn't make any sense to excite people. There are too many things that excite.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. This has been a great episode. We appreciate your time. I'm Ohai.
I'm Ohi.
These art people. Thank you. Likes, share, subscribe. Thank you, Mr. Duke. Have a good day.
Bye.